Hi, good morning or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I am talking today about alignment, which is just the most elemental part of being a human is to be upright, hopefully, and standing tall or sitting tall like I am here. So let us begin. I lit a candle for myself and I'm going to move to my mat and do a short breathing exercise with you. And then I'm going to show you, I think, 3 poses to facilitate nerve conduction in the spine. This is a very important, it's just an important exercise to add to your life, whether you do a full-on yoga practice or not. These poses are very helpful to not only increase your flexibility and to connect deeply with your entire body, but they also help, like I said, to facilitate nerve conduction. So that is moving energy, communication up the spine and down the spine where the communication needs to go to help our senses, to help us understand the world. I have very dear friends and family who have MS, multiple sclerosis. And that nerve conduction is critical in that particular autoimmune disorder. There are many autoimmune disorders, and in so many ways, the nerve conduction is deeply helpful in all of those disorders and diseases. When it gets to the point where we have a full-on disease, the nervous system begins to wane and communication just kind of starts getting muddled for all of these diseases. So protecting and nourishing our nerve conduction is very helpful. It does begin with the spine, and let me show you a few tips. Okay, so I am keeping these lessons, I'm not including a lot of Sanskrit. I could really go there. I take a Sanskrit class every week, but I really want this to be accessible to anyone, even if you don't do yoga. There are so many benefits to adding just a few poses to tweak your alignment that can really benefit how you feel during the day. So check this out. A couple things I want to share is I brought my Pilates roller because I promised someone that I would share a Pilates video with them. And we're going to do that. But first, let's sit together. I'm going to sit in Sukhasana, which is just an easy pose here with my legs crossed. If you want to sit on a chair, absolutely go for it. If you wanted to stand up, just be careful and maybe put your hands on something to support you. We're going to close our eyes and connect deeply with the spine in this seated or standing position. Rolling the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in and out through the nose. You can have your hands on your knees. I am doing a mudra here, and it's a mudra to invoke thought and concentration because I'm a little bit tired this morning. So breathing in and out through the nose. Let's begin with the pelvis for visualization. And really notice what's just noticing and observing what's happening in the pelvis. Where are your sit bones? Are you aware of your sit bones? Become aware of your sit bones and the points of the hips that you are sitting on, the bottom of your body. In this pelvic girdle lies so much important tissue that regulates our hormones as women. Becoming aware, just noticing, and then noticing now that you have awareness. How does it feel now? Does it feel different from when we began this meditation? Concentrated thought. And then let us move up slightly. So from the lower part of the pelvic floor to the upper part of the pelvic floor. And what is there? What is happening there just below the navel? Are you able to tone it a little? And do you notice the difference in the front part of the body in this area and the back part of the body in this area? Focus on the back part of the body, just above the navel, so in your lower back. And notice how it connects to the lower part of the body. It may be a struggle to sit like this. It may feel very fabulous to sit like this. You don't have to feel it. You can just observe it and note for later. We're not going to be here too much longer. So coming up that small of the back, noticing the curve of the spine. Do you notice it? Can you feel the directionality of the sit bones and the lower part of the spine? And the nature of how nerve conduction would move from this lower area to this connection in the lower part of the spine. You would have to curve. There's a natural curve there. That's so lovely. And in the facets of each parts of the spine, the individual facets, there are connection points of cartilage, synovial fluid. Travel up the middle part of your back, and we'll notice another curve in our spine. It's a perfect curve that conducts information. It conducts our love. It conducts the nerves of our body up and down the spinal cord that is wrapped by the bones of our vertebrae. And then going up all the way to the neck and just visualizing that connection point to the head and the complication involved in the connections of the spine to the head, and this biological wonder of information exchange from the lower part of the spine all the way to our brains. It's special, and we want to protect it. As we finish this visualization, let us take any note of pain or joyful feelings that you may be feeling right now. Or maybe you're feeling very neutral. The miracle of this nerve conduction system at our spine, our vertebrae, and the muscles around it. We don't even have to think about it. Taking this moment to visualize it can help us better understand the need to protect it, especially as we get older. Gravity settles in, things become tighter, challenges may present themselves. Bringing the hands together, rub your hands together, place them over your eyes. Deep breath in and out through the nose. Open the eyes and remove the hands when you're ready. Thank you for doing this guided meditation with me. I thought it would be helpful as we explore the next poses. It can just be very helpful to visualize the systems of our body as we consider any type of forward motion or healing practice around that. Alignment is essential for our bodies as we age to keep us upright and standing and to allow us to have the best nervous system that we can to help our senses be robust and delightful in our old age so we can communicate with others and experience the world with intelligence. So let me show you a couple of poses. The first pose that I want to show you is a forward fold. From a seated position, you simply want to reach forward. This is a wonderful pose just to help us begin to stretch our backs. And maybe you find yourself able to reach all the way forward, holding the backs of your feet. Maybe your torso lies on top of your thighs. But the idea, no matter where you find yourself, is to stretch this back forward, to offer a forward fold. Now, a lot of us do this already. We're already typing, driving, caring for others. But to really give an exaggerated stretch, to stretch it all out, it helps to enliven the nerve conduction in this area. So you can hang out here. Another adaptation for this, if you're just not down for a seated pose here, is to just fall forward. This is an adaptation here. Staff pose, and bringing your hands to your elbows, allowing gravity. Do you see what happens when I do that? Gravity can just help stretch the muscles And I'm also feeling a nice stretch in my backside here and my thighs. All in here, hamstrings. That fascia that runs from the origin line of the head is getting a good stretch too. And this is where we want to be. This pose also evokes feelings of joy and happiness. So it's great if you're feeling a little depressed. It can really perk you up if you're feeling a little grumpy. You can just like, wait a minute, I gotta go into this. And if you have people around you, you could share the moment with them. So that is a wonderful pose to really contract those muscles and expand the muscles all at the same time. So everything's getting a really good lengthening stretch. So we're going to next do something that I love. This is called boat pose. But first, before we do that, let's do a quick downward dog just to really stretch it out. This is a great alignment pose, one of the most essential poses in yoga. This pose tones almost every muscle of the body. It also invites feelings of joy and happiness with the inversion. And pressing the heels down as far as you can, lengthening through the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back. Feeling that tone. Now, if this is not what you are able to do, that is okay. Go back to this pose. And that's just fine. Another adaptation would be to bring a chair here and position your feet where they would be for a downward dog and hold on to the chair. And then you can slowly creep it forward as long as you have a nice stable chair. And this is a really lovely stretch for the spine. Just absolutely stunning. You're getting a deep, wide stretch, and that is a great way to do it. So it's accessible to most people here, hopefully. If you find that you are in a seated position in chair, if you are in a wheelchair, something that you can do is, let me bring this back. If you know someone who may be in a wheelchair, something that they can do is gently bring themselves over in this way, as long as it's a stable chair, and give a good stretch to the spine in this way. And then we'll bring it back over, a good stretch to the spine in this way. And then they could lay on a table that would stretch their back in a lovely way. They could also just do that slight inversion by bending over, stretching the back in this way. So you can see that that's a good stretch. And folks who do live in a wheelchair most of the time, these upper body stretches can be very uplifting for them. So if you know someone who, or if you are in that situation, give it a shot, try it out, and let me know what you think. So the next pose that I want to show you, and then I'll do the Pilates roller, is we're going to bring it all the way down to the floor here. So if you are a true yogi, we can go from downward dog and into plank pose, bringing it down to a low cobra, and then untucking the feet, laying the feet on top of the floor. We're going to reach forward and lift up with all of our might, and you're going to feel like the base, your pubis bone is the base of your foundation here. Now we want to lift up as high as we can, contracting the spine, enlivening all of that synovial fluid with this contraction, and bringing it down. And release. That pose is very amazing. It helps to really open the spine when we are so often stuck at a computer, not being in our best human position. Although I do imagine if we were hunter and gatherers, we would also be hunched over, looking for berries, looking for wonderful herbs. We would be doing that too, so it's not that different. We would be upright most of the time, so maybe a standing desk is what we all need. So let me show you this Pilates roller. This is, whether you do Pilates or not, it's essential. It's really wonderful because no matter how you're feeling, you don't have any time, you need to check your email, you're busy, you have to do life hacking to survive, you can't take the extra time. This action of lying on a Pilates roller, and the idea here is to open the chest. So you may not want to tuck the pelvis. Try opening and giving that little contraction here. It's similar to the boat pose that we just did where we were flying up, using our latissimus dorsi muscles, really flying, booty on body. So you can use your arms to stabilize, or you can bring them down here, bending the elbows slightly. But hanging out here and doing this before you go to bed is very, very beneficial for the body. It helps to align the spine before you go to bed, and then you'll be more likely to sleep on your back, which is the healthiest and also causes the least wrinkles and asymmetry in the body. When we lie on our sides to sleep, we tend to overstretch or modulate one side of our body, and that can be resonant when we are up and at it in the morning. I just want to show you two more things on the Pilates roller, and then you can sign off with me. So one of the things I want to show you is the way that you can use this. The fascia in our body is tight, it's very strappy, it's there to hold our muscles in place and to really offer deep connection with our bones. So one of the things that you can do if you're like, I have really tight hamstrings, so I'm going to show you how I work with this for my hamstrings, is you can use the roller to give yourself a massage. And maybe you already know all of this, and that's fine. So I have a weak left arm. I have an injury that I'm working on, so I'm going to be kind of slow and tender here. This is what the action that we're looking for. And you can do this all over your body by leveraging your own weight. And then here, I'll just even it out. Nice, you can see it on this side. I'm really using the hinge of my knee and my hips with the support of my arms to enjoy the loosening up of my hamstrings. You can do this on your tummy too, if you feel like it. It can help to open up the abdominal muscles. It can help to really open up all of the areas of your rib cage. There's so much going on there. You can give yourself a big massage and really enliven the nerve endings in this area. It's not going to hurt you, and you just have to be gentle. I'm going to even it out here. So I'm giving myself a little ab workout because I'm toning the abs. I'm going to go all the way up to my armpit there. And you're really protecting the skin and the way the skin looks. If you or someone you know has cellulite, this can be a very helpful action to minimize the appearance of it because it strengthens the tissues that stick together. In Ayurveda, when we have muscle mass and all of the skin tissue, the groundwater in our body, when it becomes depleted over time, so this can start with being younger. You may have a genetic predisposition to this sort of appearance, but with massage consistently, so you'd have to do this at home, right? Like you can't go to a massage therapist for this kind of therapy, but you can massage the tissues of our bodies to help them look vital and beautiful in appearance. And that is my lesson to you for today. Alignment and refining the alignment in your body with a lot of different ideas. So I hope you enjoy it. And thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to serve my community in this way, this sweet way to love the women in my life. I'll put my yoga class link below if you care to take a yoga class with me. I'm doing a pelvic floor series through the end of the year. It's such a vital part of our hormone balancing, and so many women have had trauma in that area or just really sluggish movement in that area at this time of our lives after 40. So I'll put that in there. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching. And let's just have a little closing bell here. Thank you.